special guest for today is Tara Ketteringham. She is a school counselor at Oakdale High School. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I've done quite a few episodes of FCPS All-Stars, and a lot of our staff like to keep in shape by running. Actually, primarily running is the main form. I think your form of exercise is a little more serene. Would you care to share?
Sure. I do yoga on a regular basis, pretty much every day, and I also meditate every day.
Now, how did you become interested in yoga?
It's funny. I started yoga because I wanted to learn how to do a handstand, and that's how it started.
Have you always wanted to do a handstand, or it just came upon you one day that would be kind of cool if I could do a handstand?
It kind of just came to me one day, so not always. And I never had been a gymnast or anything like that. So,
well, you know, even back in high school, I thought it was so cool to do handstands. But I was a little clumsy, and I tend to have difficulty sometimes keeping upright, so I could just imagine that being magnified, being upside down, so I thought I'd leave that alone. I'll leave that to people like you.
Thanks.
So, how long have you been studying yoga?
For just about 3 years.
And I have to ask, can you do the handstand?
I can. Some days are better than others, but my maximum hold is about 30 seconds.
That's a long time. You must have some serious upper body strength.
That has grown over the years, definitely, but it also has required like a lot of core strength as well.
What type of yoga do you practice?
Primarily vinyasa yoga, a series of movements that you do, and there are other poses along with it, but that's just typically the style, vinyasa.
Do you move continuously through it, or do you hold? Are they postures?
We do hold postures for maybe a few breaths, but there's a lot more movement, not long holds.
Okay. And where do you practice?
I practice primarily at home. Sometimes I will take workshops in the DC area, so it's nice to be close to yoga studios that bring in kind of famous yogis.
What have you noticed is the biggest change in your body or even in your mind since you started yoga?
Definitely strength and flexibility, I would say, with my body, but in my mind, I'd say more mindfulness, calm, peace, I guess, staying present.
What is the definition of mindfulness? I've heard of it, and I know what I think it to be, but maybe you could give me some clarification.
I think it can mean multiple things. When I think of mindfulness, I think of being aware of yourself, your thoughts, being aware that they are just thoughts, and I think also externally mindful of others, mindful of and compassion and being mindful of feelings and actions, that kind of thing.
Okay. Does your family like to do yoga with you?
They have done yoga with me maybe once or twice. I have a 17-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son.
Okay.
My daughter, Perry, did yoga several years ago at a studio. She would go after school, but she no longer does it and is not as interested, I think. My son tried it with me at home once, and he said he's willing to try again.
As a school counselor, I'm sure that you deal with a lot of students who are facing particular struggles or issues. Have you found that your ability to focus on mindfulness and things like that are able to help you better relate to those students or to help them overcome their struggles?
I definitely think so. I would say that it's helped me stay more present with students and in talking with them and helping them also stay present, and especially when it comes to struggles with anxiety or depression, that kind of thing.
And again, I'm going to ask you to define, when you say be more present, specifically what does that mean?
I think that very often we're thinking all the time, just thinking a lot, thinking about things that have already happened or things that haven't happened yet or that could happen. And so trying to stay present where you are, exactly where you are, because that's really all that you can control.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's what I try to impart.
We're at a time where students are bombarded with their cell phones, their texts, their emails, their social media. Compile that with the fact that they're teenagers, they're hormonal, they're trying to fit in. They have to deal with family and other responsibilities. A lot of them are working. So I understand that it's hard for students to stay focused and that their minds are always going. What tips do you have to share that could help a student or even someone like me to stay more focused and to be more present?
I think that while yoga and meditation may not be for everyone, everyone has a certain level of anxiety with everything that they're dealing with on a regular basis. And sometimes something like movement or exercise or breathing techniques, those kinds of things can help. I think it also helps to know that everyone experiences a certain level of anxiety and everyone experiences stress, and knowing that they're not alone in that.
Do you have any specific yoga breathing exercises that you could recommend for us?
I am not proficient, but there is something called pranayama, which is breathing techniques, part of yoga. Counting while you're breathing in very slow or breathing out very slow, breathing in quickly, breathing out slow.
Okay.
So that can help calm a person, I think.
And my last question for you is, what is the best thing about being a school counselor?
There are a lot of great things about being a school counselor. I think though, working with my students and seeing them grow and change over 4 years, helping them through that as much as possible. And I definitely love the people that I work with. They're really great people.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for stopping by and joining the show today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us as well. Have an awesome week, and we look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, shine on.